Hello and welcome to Acquire English Live. This is episode 51. My name is Adam. I'm an English teacher from the United States. I'm here as always with Tuan, an English teacher from London, England. And in these videos, what we do is we listen to a conversation. We break it down line by line to make sure you understand. And then we cover some grammar that went into that conversation. And finally, we will practice that grammar. So in today's conversation, our two characters are talking about the future, talking about a rugby match later. So today, the grammar point we will discuss is the difference between be going to and will. We'll talk about when to use each one. So let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. Are you going to watch the rugby match tonight?
Yeah, I'll probably go to a sports bar.
Do you think there will be anywhere to sit?
No, probably not. Where will you be?
I'm feeling a bit tired, so I don't really want to go to a crowded bar. I guess I'll just watch it at home. Okay, and now we'll go line by line to talk about that conversation. So the first sentence. Are you going to watch the rugby match tonight? Are you going to watch the rugby match tonight? So this means, do you have plans to watch the rugby match tonight? So Tuan, in this situation, why do we say the rugby match?
Because we are talking about a specific rugby match that we both know of.
Yeah, exactly. There's this, the means it's a specific rugby match. There's maybe a big match tonight. It could be Rugby World Cup or some important match that we both know which one we're talking about. So we use the and not to mean that this is a specific one that both of us know what we're talking about. So, and we use are you going to watch here because we're asking if you have plans. That's why we say, do you have plans? And we'll get into this a bit more in the future. So the first line, are you going to watch the rugby match tonight? The next line.
Yeah, I'll probably go to a sports bar.
So yeah, I'll probably go to a sports bar. So yes, I'm going to watch the match. It's very likely that I will go to a sports bar. So notice we use probably here. And we say 80%. Tuan and I were just talking about this. It's difficult to give percentages for these, but just think of probably to mean very likely that something will happen. Okay, if you want to call it 80%, sure, about 80%, very likely. And the next line. Do you think there will be anywhere to sit? So do you think there will be anywhere to sit? So will we be able to get a seat at the sports bar? Can we sit down and watch the rugby match, or will we have to stand up and watch it?
No, probably not.
So no, probably not. So no, I don't think so. No, I don't think there will be anywhere to sit. As you can see in the picture, we think no tables, everyone will be standing up, drinking, and watching the match. Is this typical for a big rugby match in the UK, Tuan? People are filling up in the pubs and watching the match, standing up for it?
Depends on the area or the event. If it's a very big event, like a World Cup, yeah, that would happen. But I don't know. If it's in a town where rugby is not popular, it wouldn't be so crowded, I don't think.
Okay. Are there areas of the UK where rugby is not so popular?
Yeah. It's not so popular in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where is it most popular, would you say?
You're putting me on the spot there with some towns, smaller towns, maybe you won't heard of, like Hull, more rugby towns than football towns.
Okay.
Yeah, some places around the Midlands, yeah, they're rugby crazy. They're not very interested in football.
Okay. So the Midlands is like, of course, middle of England, middle, like north of London. Is that where the Midlands is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's around the middle of England.
Okay. My England geography is not great.
I'm sure it's like that in America as well, right? Some sports are more popular than others in certain areas. Like there'll be a baseball town or an ice hockey town or a basketball town, right?
Yeah, somewhat. Just because I guess if there's teams in that town, then yeah. But I would say most big cities, I mean, most everywhere in America are big sports places. But yeah, if there's not a football team in a particular town, maybe it's not as popular there, I would say. But most big cities have most of the major sports teams as well. So yeah, maybe not. Anyway, let's get back to our conversation. So we're saying no, there's nowhere to sit at the bar.
Where will you be?
So where will you be? So where do you think you will watch the match?
I'm feeling a bit tired, so I don't really want to go to a crowded bar.
So I'm feeling a bit tired, so I don't really want to go to a crowded bar. So I don't want to go to a busy bar because I'm tired. So we use here crowded, of course, means there's many people at the bar. So we can also say this would mean it's busy, right? So if a place or a restaurant or a bar is not busy, at least in the US, we would say it's slow. Do you say that? Do you say that, Tuan? Like it's a bit slow.
Quiet.
Quiet. Yeah. Quiet would also be okay, right? But we could call it crowded or busy either way in this situation. So here I'm feeling a bit tired, so I don't really want to go to a crowded bar. I don't want to go to a busy bar. Okay. And the last line.
I guess I'll just watch it at home.
I guess I'll just watch it at home. So I think I will stay home and watch it. So we have this guess. I guess I will. And you can notice in the picture here, there's kind of a funny face. Maybe that's not what I want to do, but the other option is not good. So we might use guess in this situation just to mean I think I will. And the nuance here is a bit difficult to explain, but you'll hear people use guess in this way a lot. It means maybe that's not what I want to do, but I think that is what I will do. I guess. Is that okay? So, for example, it's summer now and my youngest son loves eating ice cream. So I don't love giving him lots of ice cream, but he'll have a bowl of ice cream and he'll want more. He's like, Daddy, more ice cream, more ice cream. So I'd say, I guess so. I guess you can have more ice cream, or I guess I'll get you some more ice cream. Maybe I don't want to do that, but I get him some more because I don't want to hear him complain, right? So we use guess a lot in that situation where it's not a great option, but okay type of situation. We use that a lot. A little confusing. If you have more questions, you can ask us in the comments. Is there anything to add there, Tuan?
That's about right. Yeah, you're not 100% confident with that. I guess, yeah, you're not just certain. Yeah, it's just there's some doubt.
Right. So Tuan and I were discussing this, and I said we won't talk about it much, but then I opened my mouth and I talked about it a lot. So because it's very, very complicated to explain. So again, if you do have questions, we can maybe answer more in the comments, or you can practice and ask if this is a correct way to use, I guess, because it's a very natural thing to say in these situations. I guess I'll watch it at home, or I guess I'll have another beer or something like that. So not the grammar point we're going to talk about most today. So today's grammar point, we're talking about be going to and will. And we use be going to when we have a plan. We decided to do something in the past. Now we have a plan to do it. We use will for a prediction in the future, something we think will happen. It's not a plan, it is a prediction. We are thinking about something in the future. Will this happen or will this not happen? So we had this sentence here. Are you going to watch the rugby match today? We'll play this one more time.
Are you going to watch the rugby match tonight?
Okay, so are you going to watch the rugby match tonight? And we said, are you going to? What I'm asking here is, do you have a plan to watch the rugby match tonight? Now, it's not wrong or it's not crazy or terrible to say, will you watch the rugby match tonight? Is that okay? But the nuance, the difference here is this one I'm saying, are you going to, do you have a plan? Will you watch the rugby matches? Do you think you will? Again, so you're making a prediction about the future with this question. I'm asking you to predict your future. What do you think will happen tonight? Will you watch it? But are you going to is, do you have a plan or are you planning on watching it? So be careful with the difference between these two. Often both of them can be used in the same situation, but the nuance is just what I said there. One is a plan and one is a prediction. Sometimes it doesn't really matter which one you use. But I think best case is if you're asking someone about a plan, we use a be going to. Are you going to? What are you going to? Where are you going to? But in many situations, it's possible to use will as well. Did I make any mistakes there, Tuan? Did I miss anything there?
I think the confusing thing is that will has got quite a few different meanings, and one of them is a prediction. And that can, confuse people. I guess going to can be a strong prediction as well, but I don't know if I want to open that. So it's going to rain. So but generally, these difference. If you're talking about an arrangement or something that you've planned, going to is better to use.
Yeah, there are situations where you can use be going to for a prediction, but for to keep it simple today, if you're asking someone about if they have a plan or they don't have a plan, are you going to? Because the question will often be a be going to question, do you have a plan? But the answer will often use will to answer it, right? Because if we don't have a plan, then we're going to use will to give kind of a prediction about our future. Is that okay? And let's get into some different ways to use will here, because one of those is probably, and we had this sentence in the conversation.
Yeah, I'll probably go to a sports bar.
Right, that was the question. Are you going to watch the rugby match tonight? Tuan's answer was, yeah, I'll probably go to a sports bar. So use that probably, that again, whatever percent it is, 80%, I'll probably do something. So if we have a little chain here, 100% going to do, 0% will not do. When we use I'm going to, it means we have a plan to do it, right? I'm going to call my mother tonight. We have a plan to talk. Is that okay? We can also use will, a very strong belief or strong prediction that this will happen. Okay. And then below that is will probably. And will probably means it's likely to happen. Again, if we want to call it 80%, it's 80%. In the middle, to say something is possible, it's just possible. Maybe it will happen, maybe it will not happen. We would use might. Okay. And then below that, we would say, I probably won't, to mean it's not likely. And notice the difference here. I will probably. So probably goes after the will. I probably won't. Probably goes before the will not. So be careful with word order there. Okay, and it probably won't, again, means it's not likely to happen. So 80% will not happen. And the last one, I won't, is a strong negative belief or strong negative prediction, right? Anything to add here, Tuan?
I think this covers it. There's other words we can use as well, but I don't think we need to go into those to make them stronger.
Right.
Or around the middle, yeah. We could like be happy as possible.
Right.
Yeah, you can use those terms, or I definitely will. I absolutely will.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some questions and let's practice using some of these. So the first one here we have, are you going to take a trip overseas this year? So Tuan, again, are you going to? So I'm asking about a plan. Are you going to take a trip overseas this year? What do you think?
I probably won't.
Probably won't.
Very low, yeah, 10%.
Yeah, it's not looking good, right? It's end of August right now, and still difficult to travel due to COVID and whatnot. So yeah, it's possible, but I would say the same. I probably won't take a trip overseas this year. Yeah, no plan. So if you notice, the question was, do you have a plan? But again, we both answered with probably will not, probably won't. So because neither of us have a plan. So how would you answer this? Let's say if you had a plan to go visit your family over Christmas, let's say Tuan, and I asked, are you going to take a trip overseas this year? How would you answer?
If I'm certain and I booked a ticket, I would say yes, I'm going to go to the UK in the winter holidays. Right.
So yeah, I'm going to go to the UK. If you do have a plan, then of course we're going to answer with the be going to, I'm going to do it. But without a plan, we would use will. Is that okay? Or if you have a plan not to, let's say we have decided not to do it, we could say we are not going to take a trip overseas this year. We already planned to not go. It's also possible to use in that situation. We're not going to take a trip. Okay, so how about you? Let us know at home. Are you going to take a trip overseas this year, or maybe just to a different country, or any trip at all? Let us know in the comments below. But for now, let's get to the next question. This one here. Tuan, what are you going to do after this lesson?
I'm going to make my lunch. Well, I don't know what time this is going out, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and eat something.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe same. What are you going to make for lunch? Do you have a plan?
Got a salad, got some vegetables. I'm gonna cut some vegetables up and make a healthy salad.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yourself?
So I will probably eat lunch after this. Not even probably. I'm going to eat lunch after this. I will probably go buy a bento or a lunchbox from some nearby shop. I probably won't go to a convenience store. Right now, many restaurants are selling bento boxes, and a bento box is like a special kind of lunch box that they serve in Japan. But I will probably go buy one from a nearby restaurant because I don't want to eat inside the restaurant quite yet. Okay. So next question. Do you think you will ever drive an electric car, Tuan? So you can see down here, the bottom picture, we have an electric car, a car that runs on electricity. So do you think you will ever drive an electric car?
I probably won't, but maybe I will. If they drive themselves, I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
But I don't really want to drive. Yeah, so I probably won't.
So do you have a driver's license in Japan?
Not the Japanese one, no. I've got a UK one.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Same with me.
I don't like driving.
I
about
don't
you, do you
either. But I will probably drive an electric car at some point. I don't have a license right now. I've been hoping to get one soon, even though I don't really enjoy driving all that much, especially in Tokyo. It's not, I don't want to, not a really fun thing to do, drive in Tokyo traffic, I'm sure. But my wife really wants me to get a license, so I suppose I will. So yeah, and I think this is the car of the future. So I will probably drive an electric car in the future, maybe near future. We'll see. Okay, I have a couple more questions. Let's look at the next one. Will you retire before you are 65? And again, retire means stop working. There's a nice retired couple here. Do you think you will retire before you're 65 years old, Tuan?
All my answers are the same, but I'm going to give a different answer then. I'll say maybe.
You might.
Yeah, I might.
Possible, right. Yeah, I would say I probably won't retire before I'm 65. I don't know that I would be good retired. I need something to keep me busy. So I will slow down when I'm around that age, but I think I will work until I'm 80 years old. Just because I don't think I could sit down. I think if I stopped working, I would die very quickly. So I need something to get out of bed for. So I probably won't retire before I'm 65. Especially at the rate I'm saving money. I won't be able to retire when I'm 65. So
hey, teaching is not really work. So yeah, it's not. I don't really find it so bad. Yeah. It's
going to be tough to retire early on our salaries.
Yeah.
People better start subscribing to this YouTube channel, I guess. maybe we'll get to retire earlier. We'll see. Okay. And I believe this is the last question. So are you going to learn something new this year? So do you have a plan to learn something new this year? What do you think, Tuan?
I probably will. I keep saying that I'm going to take up Japanese, but I mean it this time.
You're really going to start studying. I have a good book for you. I found a good one. I'll let you know later. It's
please, okay.
It's similar to our training videos, which are based on shadowing. I found a good Japanese book that's all about shadowing practice with Japanese. So the Japanese conversation. So I'll let you know about it later, but maybe the people learning at home don't want to know. So for me, I often learn new stuff just a little bit. So for example, right now I'm learning R. Do you know what R is, Tuan? R language, R programming?
Programming language? No.
Yeah, it's a programming language for like data analytics. So to processing data, you need to make graphs out of a big spreadsheet. You need to make, different types of visualizations out of a bunch of different information to help people understand that information. I've been studying that for the past couple months or so. I don't know if I'll ever use it in a job or anything like that, but to me, it's just something that's kind of interesting to learn. I studied a little bit about, programming in terms of making a website. I've done that in the past, really with no intention of learning how or ever making a big website. I guess I just want to know how it works. It kind of changes the way I look at websites now. So it's just something to kind of train my brain a little bit and keep me interested, keep me from going crazy, I guess. So I will continue to learn R. I don't know that I'll learn anything else this year. Maybe some other related languages to that, but that's about it. So how about you at home? Are you going to learn something new this year? Are you learning anything else besides English, or will you stick to learning English? Okay. I think that will about do it for us today. Just a quick summary. Remember, we had all these different ones. I'm going to is a plan. I will is a strong belief, or like we said before, a prediction, right? I will probably means it's likely to happen. Again, that 80%. I might means it's possible. We could say 50-50. I probably won't, just the negative version of I will probably. Again, 80% not likely to happen. And then I won't is a strong negative belief or strong negative prediction. Okay. Any final words, final thoughts today, Tuan? Anything to add?
I think we've covered it in the past as well. I think the other way of using will is undecided plan. Yeah, have a look back. Maybe we'll put a link to remind you about that one. But yeah, but you can easily check it. Maybe if you just type in will. I'm pretty sure we've covered that in the past, and yeah, maybe that would help to make things clearer.
Yeah, we do have some other videos covering the differences between will and going to. I think Tuan mentioned earlier, people don't think about it so often, but there's different uses of will. It just doesn't mean something in the future. There's a couple different meanings of will. And the one today we talked about is just predictions. The one we talked about in a previous video is about a decision that we make right at the moment. So we will go ahead and post the link to that video as well in the comments, so you can check that one out. So if there's any confusion, of course, have a look at the videos, ask us any questions in the comments. Or if you are interested in getting some speaking practice, we of course have the Acquire English Club, where we meet several times a week over Zoom. You can talk with us. If you go to aenglish.club, you can sign up for a lesson. It's aenglish.club. And again, we meet several times a week, and you can ask Tuan and I questions, and you can talk with other members who come from around the world. So thank you very much for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye.